So we have Vice President Joe Biden, allegedly, credibly accused of some sexual misconduct from 27 years ago, something in that order. No reports to the police, of course. This is standard stuff, isn't it? Well, she was so traumatized, she couldn't call the police, but she told her mother. She called the Rape Crisis Center. We always hear, wow, he couldn't call the police. Why? You're so traumatized to call the police, but you'll call a rape crisis center. I mean, what's the difference? Call the Title IX office, but not the police. See? Oh, there's always some questions, aren't there? So one of the questions would be, why is this coming out? We're never going to know whether Joe Biden, did this to this woman. It's a he said, she said situation. Always very difficult to prove. Even if this woman had called the police, it's like, okay, we're going to need something here. Or some evidence. Do you have a witness? Anything? Very difficult to prove. A lot of these cases, unfortunately, are like that. Now, when you're talking about Title IX, you don't even have the opportunity, if you're a man accused, of defending yourself effectively. There's been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cases since Title IX was enacted, where men have been kicked out of campus. They didn't have their rights, their human rights, their civil rights, constitutional rights upheld, because feminists and gender studies professors do not have the tools to adjudicate these things. Now, if it's cheating in school or stalking or something like that, maybe there can be some administrative justice on the college campus. Okay, you're restricted from this area and whatever. But rape is a friggin' felony. And it never gets mentioned along the way that if these victims do not report to the police, the worst thing that can happen to the perpetrator is he's kicked off campus to go and assault other women. We can't call the police, but we can call the Title IX office. Somehow the trauma doesn't stop them from doing that. Here's a story. This is in PJ Media. Tucker Carlson destroys Senator Gillibrand and the feminist movement. Well, I don't think you can cure cancer with an aspirin, Tucker. What do I think of Joe Biden? I don't know. Should he resign from the campaign because someone from 27 years ago, he did something to me? No, I don't think so. If she has some proof and evidence, bring it forward. Or if there's a record of it somewhere that she reported it to something or other, okay, then maybe we're getting somewhere. But for right now, he's been accused of something. Of course, this is not reciprocated when that accusation is put against, say, a Republican, maybe Donald Trump, maybe Brett Kavanaugh. Yeah, no. Hypocrisy is thy stock in trade. Feminist movement, Me Too people. The author writes, if you've been sputtering at the sheer nauseating hypocrisy of the feminist movement and female politicians who destroyed Brett Kavanaugh, but are giving Joe Biden a pass, take heart. Tucker Carlson has found the words that most of us have been searching for. Joe Biden headed up the efforts to, in scary quotes, reform Title IX. I suppose that's one way to look at it, isn't it? Where a man accused is guilty. And if he's even given the opportunity to prove himself innocent, which doesn't happen all that often, it's a permanent stain on his record and likely he'll be kicked out. Just from an accusation, see. Yeah, that's reform, all right, Vice President Biden, I guess. We'll never know how many young men's lives were ruined by the Star Chamber proceedings on college campuses where believe all women, even at the expense of due process, fairness, and human decency, was mandatory. Now, this believe all women thing, this is a perfect illustration of the Mott and Bailey argumentation. Believe all women when you're in the Bailey. In other words, if a man is accused, he's guilty. She doesn't have to prove anything. He should go to jail, etc. Well, when pressed on this, they retreat to the Mott. Well, we don't mean that. We just believe all women should be listened to when they come forward with their stories. It's like, okay, that's a defensible position. And I think most people would agree, yeah, if something happened, report it to the police and let them move forward with it. But that's not what they mean. What they mean is there shouldn't be a standard. If a man is accused, he should go away. Me too. That's the fundamental plank of Me Too. Now, in some of these cases, actually, most of the cases, these men had their careers ruined because of an accusation. The rare exception, Harvey Weinstein, who the victim reported to the police. He went to court. He was convicted, and he's going to spend a long time in jail, just like Bill Cosby. They'd like to point that out. Wow, look at this pig, Harvey Weinstein. Well, yeah, he committed a crime. He was convicted. What about Garrison Keillor in Minnesota? No crime. Yeah, you see the difference. Al Franken, no crime. So, Biden now is accused of sexual assault. I am presuming he is innocent until there's some proof. That's the way we work in this country, legally. But, the author continues, rather than require him to play by the same rules as men accused of sexual assault and harassment everywhere, Me Too, the feminists have maintained a notable silence. By the way, just to be, fair, Joe Biden has denied this. So he did go on television and say, hey, this didn't happen. Okay? Didn't happen. So Carlson on his TV show said this, but of course Biden isn't playing by those rules and never would. Why isn't he forced to? Because the American feminist movement may be the single most corrupt movement in the world. It's not just the feminists. It's all the ists. It's all the left, Tucker. You know that. It's more corrupt than the government of Equatorial Guinea. It's more corrupt than the World Health Organization. There's nothing more corrupt than institutional feminism. And if you want proof, look no further than Senator Gillibrand of New York. 2 years ago, Gillibrand wanted Brett Kavanaugh, his wife, his family, his career ruined. He was guilty, she said. She could feel it. What else did Gillibrand have to say? She has come forward. She has spoken. And they've done an investigation in several outlets, meaning news outlets. No county. Those investigations, Vice President Biden has called for himself. Vice President Biden has vehemently denied these allegations, and I support Vice President Biden. So he denied the allegations, and Kristen Gillibrand still supports him. Interesting. Did Kavanaugh didn't? Oh, that's different. Because Kavanaugh, abortion. Do you see the picture now? The sacrament, the holy sacrament of feminism. Now, it's interesting that Carlson brings up Gillibrand. You remember what happened a few years ago at Columbia University? Do you recall? This was like 2015. By the way, after Title IX was reformed, there was a woman named Emma Sulkowicz, Mattress Girl, who accused, I guess, an on-again, off-again boyfriend of some kind of sexual misconduct. And I believe the story, not to, get too deep into it. They were having consensual sex, and I don't know if he pulled a condom off or something happened there. We don't know. Okay. She reported it not only to Columbia, but to New York City Police Department. Both of these outfits investigated and found no crime to prosecute. Sulkowicz wasn't happy with that result, and so she carried her mattress around where allegedly this assault occurred around campus as a protest. Well, eventually Columbia was sued by the perpetrator and won cash and prizes because he was falsely accused, kicked out of school, reputation ruined, all of that other happy stuff. So, Senator Gillibrand invited Emma Sulkowicz to the State of the Union during all of these things going on. Believe all women, she's a victim, she's a this, she's a that, and she's a... But wait a minute. Senator Gillibrand, didn't the man accused vehemently deny the allegations? Didn't he cooperate with the investigation? Didn't he offer testimony and proof and whatever? And it was looked at by two different departments and found to be nada. Didn't he deny that? But you didn't believe him, did you? But you're using the same argument to say, well, Vice President Biden has vehemently denied this. So I'm cool. Double standard. Anyone. I'll put the links below so you can read the story. James Maxwell, thank you for listening.